We are live.
Hockey Nation fans, welcome back to another special edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your Coach Francis Clay from the booth today, and we have to go all the way to find the only co-host we have, and the unique one from the West Coast, Michael Daryl.
How's it going, Pierre? We had a very eventful evening and morning in hockey.
We have a lot of things going on around the league, and then before we jump on we have a couple of breaking news happening since the last game last night. First of all, we have to unfortunately talking about we lost an amazing, great person. I think the behind the hockey, I think I always said means the human being is the person who they are, and unfortunately, we have to wait until they pass before we really show who they are. If you're from Canada, you know a little bit about the dad, you know what he did for the son, but it's one you have passed like he did yesterday. That's what all the comments on every social media, when you have the prime minister make a statement about the loss of someone like him, it just showed the impact he made, not only on the hockey, but in the country, and every people love the hockey, and that's always it's like yesterday. Walter Gretzky, 82 years old, the dad of the greatest hockey player in the history. Wayne Gretzky, he passed yesterday. Walter at 82 years old. So like Wayne said at some point where he said, sad to lose my dad, but he suffered a lot for the last couple of years. Leukemia, everything like that. So you have a lot of difficulty you did not see around for the last few years because that situation with his healthy side. But that show they have a lot of things. I'm watching everything about Twitter about him and the dad, and Janet Jones have an amazing, great statement about the dad, everything like. So it's like it's sad to see this. We know. Behind everything, the parents play a big role, right? Some good, great, some they destroy other things, everything like that. That's unfortunately
a more common thing today. If you're out there and you're a hockey parent, go watch whatever you can about Walter Gretzky because he was like, it's not like he wasn't emotionally involved in the game, but he was the first guy to build a backyard rink. Let his kid play hockey nonstop. He let the kid move away at like 13, 14. Like, they were in Brantford, a little small town. And all he was a telephone repairman.
Yep. You have a great life to teaching the people about the right things in life, right? To become a good human being and accept, be humble, with compassion, play with passion, with your work ethic, everything like that. And that show also, if you look about Wayne Gretzky, he's not the fastest players, right? He don't have the fastest shot. You know what I mean? You have a lot of characteristic. He's not the best. But what he did very well, he was the vision, he was smart, the IQ, he was assuming and everything like that. So you have a lot of other facet of his play where not many people can get it, right? I have an opportunity to play, not to play, but work with Brent and East Coast Hockey League. I have an opportunity to work for the team with Keith play in the East Coast Hockey League. So I knew a little bit more about the Gretzky family. I have a chance to go out a couple of times with Keith Gretzky, everything like that. And, so it's really a special family. But the dad, whenever he was playing the East Coast Hockey League, he was reaching him. You know what I mean? It's no matter, it was not only about Wayne. He had 5 kids. He was taking care about the wife. But so he is a really special man. And, we have a statement this morning where Wayne Gretzky, he said, the dad said to Wayne Gretzky, he said, you record like you is going to be beat one day. Someone's going to beat what you accomplished, like the 892 goal, whatever it is, right? And he said, once this happening, don't forget to be the first one, shake the hand of the players, did it like exactly what Gordy Orr did to you. And that show how he is, right? That show that remind you he's scared at the end of the day, right? always someone's going to beat you, but be the first one to show you your compassion, your integrity about the game, everything like that. So that show exactly from the role model for other people like Gordy or everybody like Maurice Richard, Jean Béliveau, and we can go all the way to fan organization.
Absolutely. He is the epitome of class. He was a really nice man. And he was a family guy. I mean, I think that's not, we don't see a lot of that today. Like,
no,
he's an example of what most, not that he was perfect, but I think he was just a really humble, soft-spoken guy that, it was fortunate he had the greatest hockey player ever and no other hockey player practically. Well, I think
and unfortunately, you know what is the sadness about this? We don't go deeper with family. We don't go deeper about their parents. If we talk that, you know what I mean? Like I will remember like the DJ the Oshie, the dad. You know what I mean? Like he won the Stanley Cup, but the dad now have Alzheimer. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of story behind the door. Is like behind the hockey. It's not because they score, they become the famous players. They have their struggle, they have their challenge, you have a lot of things we don't hear, we don't see, and what their parents did, their sacrifice, everything like that for them. So, it's some stuff is something you have to make you the reality or the perspective in life. Is still at the end of the day, you have something else behind everything. So, it's just it's a sad news about the hockey. I think hockey is going to more for a couple of days right now. And it's everywhere this morning from TSN, Sportnet, everybody, players, like Berkey talk about this. Everybody is touched by the loss of Mr. Walter Gretzky at 82 years old. So we just want to be sure we, pass the time a little bit to give to him, well-deserved and everything like that. And he, like you said, he grew in Ontario, but like everybody at backyards, let his kid play. Like you said, they let him go. Like, when I think 12, 13, 14, he was the kid was scoring like 100 goals per year. You know what I mean? Like, but again, the beauty of this part, when I want to finish this, is like he's never changed Walter Gretzky. Walter Gretzky never been changing who he is whatsoever. Wayne, Keith, Brent, or his daughter will accomplish in their life. He's always been the same person with the same heart and the same human being. And that's what for me is the most important thing behind everything. And that's what show exactly who he is. And when people pass away like this, you look at their legacy, what you talk about in their dash. That's what you cannot ask him more of all the compliment he get today about Walter Gretzky. So, yep. So that's, sad news, but,
he had quite the legacy. It's a great article. If you get a chance, I'll post it up here on the comments. It's worth checking out on NHL.com.
Yep. Exactly. If it was only one breaking news, it will be, but we have a lot of news around the league happening the last 10 hours, to be honest with you. It's funny because the last couple of days I mentioned to Mike, I'm having a video about who is the next coach is going to be fired. And I put 6 coaches. I put Dallas Higgins, John Hines, Tortorella. I put Geoff Ward, and I put Ralph Krueger. And Jeff Blashill for the Detroit, right? And I put umpire order. Like number 7, the last I think on my list of 6 would be Tortorella. And then I put Ralph Krueger number 2. And I really did not put Josh Ward, I think 5. I thought Detroit or Anaheim will fire before him.
Really? I don't think Detroit's doing anything, Pierre. I don't think they have no intentions.
That's what I said on this part. But that surprised me because
Anaheim's not going to do anything.
But most of the things I said, the people will wait until the end of the year. They will not wait until that. Now, expectation is different, right? Josh Ward right now, he have a save percentage winning of 0.562. It's not bad.
And they won 7-3 last night.
Like the team is not like on it's just like the high expectation of different market, where you at, right? Anaheim against could lose 20 more games. It would not change anything. Like people would not scream nowhere. But the pressure and everything like that, like your market like Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, and those markets are dictate some time the direction, what they should do, everything like that. So a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. I was not, because when I go deeper on the search about what he did, everything like that, but the guy, he was there for by interim last year. If you remember, they fired Bill Peters because of his behavior. And then he came back, and then he changed the team. Honestly, the team get better after he left Peters, and then the team get better, and then he go all the way with them, and they gave him a contract for the next, I think it's 2-3 years, and unfortunately they are play for 500. They all play at one game. They win like one game.
Yeah,
they got destroyed Saturday 6-1. Now they come back 7-3. The same team, same players. You know what I mean? Like,
this statement is very telling, right? It says, if you had an identity for our team, we're an inconsistent team. And that's just not, we were saying the same thing. Like, they're up 1 minute, they're down another. So you're not going to keep your job long, especially in that hockey market. But I'm very, very surprised at their choice. I mean, Daryl Sutter, yes, has won a Stanley Cup, but in the last days in Los Angeles, it was very clear that the game has changed. And he would not adapt. He is not a coach that adapts. So unless something miraculous has happened, he's going to come in as a very stubborn guy, and he's going to play a Northwest game. I don't understand this move, Pierre. Like, they have talented players.
I would say to you, this is for me is this part. Yes, when I see Daryl Sutter, like I got the Twitter from I was in the bed.
Yeah.
And then I look, I said, wow. Then it says Sutter. So that's my first reaction, like you did. Now, and then I start thinking, and then I look about this morning, and then I see this one word with him, interim. I only see him the rest of the year. I do not see him. At least the team is going to make probably going a good run. First of all, I put them winning the first position. But I believe this is an interim. I think the general manager just want to, scrappy those kind of player like this, right? And then he will find someone else after that. That's what I think. Because he's always been, Sutter family has always been around the Flames for many years.
They're still on the damn farm.
Yes. So I would be surprised. I could be wrong, right? But I would not see him sign a contract 3 years with them. At least something changed.
But again, like, how does he come into the league with a Johnny Gaudreau and turn this team around? Because if he's going to come in and he's going to start getting them to play, well, just stay on the right side of the puck, a slow, non-transition game, they're going to get killed.
I don't have no answer yet. We didn't see yet what's happening, right? But at the end of the day, I think, you talk about him, you talk about Tortorella, you talk those old school hockey, everything like that with one dimension, and then, so it will be interesting how they're going to react. I was interesting about that. The change sometimes to, like create a shock.
Just because of the shock, right? And I mean, you say Tortorella. Tortorella's communication style is gruff, like Daryl Sutter's is. Like, Daryl Sutter's an under-communicator. Like, he'll swear and he'll confront guys, and you'll know he's mad and you want to respond. But more the tactical side of the game, like, I would be concerned if I'm a Flames GM.
The good news is about for the media, for the press conference after the game. That'll be interesting.
What you effing guys asking me that question for?
It's funny because sometimes people at Los Angeles, when he was there, the people don't want to ask him questions. He was scared about him, what he's going to tell them. So it'd be interesting to see that. At Los Angeles, you have 5 mic, and then Calgary going to have 35 mics. So it'd be interesting to see that. But look, I think as the team needs something,
I had to go buy a pair of $79 reading glasses today. 79 bucks. You can literally get them at Costco 3 for $20. It's not always whether you win or lose. It's whether you're winning or losing.
What did you say to the team after the game?
Fly at 11. We go first? Okay, let's go.
Seemed like your third line had a really great game tonight.
Who was that?
The Stoll, Williams, King line.
Yeah, they were good.
What do you do differently the past these 2 games?
Save elimination.
All right, maybe this will work.
Is that it? Thanks.
The franchise hasn't played in Game 7 since 2002.
Who cares? Is that so? Should we have a major announcement tomorrow that we haven't played in Game 7? All right.
Okay, maybe this will work. Maybe I'm wrong.
Do you feel like he's way a little bit like Sylvester? Rocky?
Yeah, like Sylvester Stallone. You're right.
Yeah, you feel that?
That is very true. I never thought of that. All right, maybe I'm overreacting here. I don't think tactically, but this might work.
Possible. We'll see, but it's a big news over there. We have another big news happening like 30 minutes ago before I come here. It's Brent Seabrook announced today his retirement as a player. You mentioned this at the beginning of the year. You maybe not see him again play hockey because he's a hip injury, everything like that. And when I see him, I see Crawford, Duncan Keith, and those players together for 5, 7, 8, 9 years. They win the 3 Stanley Cup, everything like that. And he was a great defenseman player. With the time that team win, he was with Duncan Keith, the best duo defenseman we can call them. And it's sad the way he finished his career, but I think over 1 year and a half he does not play anymore.
Yeah, he's been technically done for a while. We kind of knew that he wasn't going to come back. So he had a great career. I mean, 3 Stanley Cups. He was the second best defenseman on a great team.
I don't have the stat for me. He played over 1,200 games. So he's a defenseman, like you said. He was one of the best, big member of that team over there, like other players. And unfortunately, was the end for him.
That is a career, man.
Yeah.
And then look at the playoffs: 22 games, 23 games, 23 games. That's 3 Stanley Cups. 123 play. Look at it in the playoffs, Pierre. 60 points in 123 games for a defenseman like him, and he was tough. And even the regular season, but it was like he upped his game in the playoffs significantly.
So if you think about that way, Mike, he played 1 year and a half more because of the playoff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like when you play 82 games, it's a 1 extra year in the NHL.
This is we forget how good this guy was. I mean, I think this is very telling to me, which is, okay, great. He had 460 points in 1,100 games, but in 120 games, he had 59 playoff points.
Yep. That's very important about that. You can play I know said he's a player like him, but you have a player like the playoff, Claude Lemieux, those guys, the player where during the playoff, they elevate their game. They play an extra level hockey you don't see during the season. So it's a great point you bring to us this morning. And that's a big news about that part. It's just happening this morning, a few minutes ago. So I just want to sharing with you about that part. But we have yesterday, Michael, it was funny. For me, last night was like every game, every night, because I always said, you never know what's happening. Team come back, team don't show up, team is show up. Someone, who said Vertanen from the Canucks going to beat Toronto by himself?
That's true, actually. I didn't think of that.
Right? He scored 2 goals yesterday. He scored 3. Now, he didn't score. He scored only 1 goal all year long, and then he go again Toronto, beat Toronto 3-1 Vancouver. We said after this stop, McDavid and Dressel.
That was pretty surprising. So I think he's been really, it's funny because we were talking about players that need to get going, and a bunch of them got going yesterday. Sean Monahan, Lafreniere, if a week ago we were like, let that guy play. He can play. Look at him. He gets away 2 points last night. He scored in like 3 games. Like he had a nice goal and he set up another one. He's really good. Svechnikov, Rasmussen, Zadina. That was the line that did all the damage last night for the Red Wings. Like Rasmussen in front of the net is a beast. Like play the guy. He was in on both of the only 2 goals they get, and Zadina got them both. So that's good news. Zadina had to get going. He only had 1 goal, but man, you can see this guy can play if you let him play. And then even, where's Geo Smith? Like Geo Smith needs to let that guy play. It's crazy because the other guys are not getting anything done. I mean, Sam Gagner actually played pretty well last night, but they lose 5-2. So, but it was neat to see the Svechnikov's brothers play each other. And they both got on the board. So you had Svechnikov contributing for the Red Wings. You had Rasmussen and Zadina.
Well, Zadina plays his best game of the year, to be honest with you. He had a bad year so far.
He has, but it's like, let the guys play. That's your not just your future. They can play now. But
I understand that part. It's just like, we didn't see him a lot this year. He should be better what he play right now. But at the end of the day, it's no. My point is like, you have a lot of comeback yesterday, a lot of surprise. It's friend game, maybe that, and
not in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was the first game of the night yesterday. It's unfortunately the team don't go nowhere. That team don't, like
18 shots on net, Pierre.
Yeah,
like you were talking about coaches. I expected this morning that Ralph Kruger was going to be fired.
Yeah. I was just mention this, you have to build a culture. You have to build a brand. You have to build that kind of the culture behind everything. And then obviously the owners of Buffalo, Miss and his husband, don't do well about that part. You can go fire coach after coach, GM after GM. Look, they said they got that team, and sometimes you don't look the coach. You have to look all the way to the top. And I really believe the Buffalo it looked like this because from the top.
Maybe
that's Like I don't want to complain about Phil Horsley, but Phil Horsley got in the Thunder without no support from the owners, and they change every 2-3 years, GM, every time that. So
I think this was really weird.
What?
Well, Taylor Hall saying that he's willing to stay, and that he likes the coaches and the environment how they're treated.
Yeah, but he's not going to say something against, right? He's on the Buffalo, get $8 million. Thank you so much. And so he's not going to be out. I'm out of there. I think it's not. I think it's just a negotiation. If the Sabre gave him like an 8-year contract or 6-year contract, $8-9 million, he will say he's still in Buffalo.
I mean, he could have gone to a lot of places. I mean, I don't know. He's a weird player for me. He had the one really good year, but generally his success has not followed him. I think he's a on and off guy,
Michael, you know what? I'm not agree with you about. I don't think many team is looking for him.
What do you mean?
Like you said, there are many team looking for him. Me, I would said I don't think you have
You don't think so?
more 10 team would like to have Taylor Hall in their team.
Probably because he's a weird player. Like it's kind of risky, right? You're going to tie up a lot
but yeah, of course. If you said I'm going to sign at $5 million, now you're going to have 20 team, right? But at $8-9 million with him, I would not jump on it.
He should be the best left winger in the game. Yeah, but he's always had missed a lot of time. So that's risky. He's bounced around a little bit. And when he's on the ice, there's something about him about puck management. And I don't know if it's like he overhandles the puck, he doesn't shoot enough. And he's a phenomenal player, but look at you can't. I don't know. Am I missing something?
Now, one thing you maybe bring something. Maybe he need maybe a prototype, a player what should be with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody can play with Tyler Hall, maybe, and he need to find that kind of players to make him now to that level. So I don't know, but it's not. It's, you know what I mean? Like,
hard for me to say. He did very well with Hishar, and I think he was mad that he got let go. And I think it was more about him being mad and being very determined in this season when he was MVP.
But I agree with you when you said it's a risky money to put on him. I think I'm more, you know, I would put my money right away to RHN before him, right? So I would be careful about that one over there. But back to Buffalo, I think that the team is a mess right now, and I don't see anything else. Expect again a lot of change, but again, I will say to you, my concern is always going to be the owners of that team, and unfortunately, that's for me. That's what I think the most, and you know. I would believe me, team doing like the great thing with integrity, loyalty, and they don't change a lot of their GM and coaches, have more success to anybody else.
I mean, listen, if you're going to trade Jack Eichel, you're going to get a lot. Even if he wants out, he has no leverage personally. They can keep him for quite a while. So if they're going to move him, it's in their terms, and he can play. He can pull a Dubois, and maybe he is pulling a Dubois. But they're going to get a lot, and they got a lot for Dubois. I mean, look at what they got for, frankly, Eichel's better than Dubois, like a lot. And they got Laine, and they got Roslovic. So they're going to get a lot if they move Jack Eichel.
Expect 4 on that part, it would be 2-player top 6 plus a 1 first pick round pick.
Yep.
And then you're going to get a third, whatever it is. But it could be a top 3 defenseman, a top 5 forward, plus a first round pick. And then after that, depends whether your first round pick fouled. But there's a guy, the transaction the Buffalo were looking for that. We talk about the players right now, a franchise player. We don't talk like Dubois. We don't talk about, you know, Marchand. We talk about a player carry on a team on his shoulder like Austin Matthews, McDavid.
That's the comparison that's very close, right?
Yeah. And, you know, because remember, like, you know, everybody talk about this right now because the team look bad, everything like that. He has 2-3 goals so far. But this guy have an amazing, great year. Like, I think a year ago, you compare him better to Matthews.
Absolutely. Like, he's like 90-point player. Like,
yeah, it makes sense. So you have to be careful there. It's a good question, Anthony. Not only the Panthers want him. I'll be honest with you. If you have one team, get him, and the one him you want to go, he's go straight to Boston Bruins.
Well, maybe he's thinking that, but I don't know if he would he fit in the Boston culture.
I don't know, honestly, but I just point like, you know what I mean? I would not see him like at Nashville. I would not see him on Arizona or something like that. I just feel he will go to a higher, you know, Flyers, so that kind of team where it's popular hockey, we talking about that. Look, his season, you know, 78 and 68, right? 82 and 77. I mean, he's almost like 1 point per game.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's what it is, right? You can talk. Oh, you have only 2 goals this year, but the saga over there is not easy. And but again, he's a player right now. He's frustrated, upset. Ramis Dallin said, I'm embarrassed right now. So,
well, see, this is the thing, Pierre. Like, they're young still. I mean, they are still young, but they're very talented. At this age, Chicago was winning cups for Kane and Taves, right? So what do you wait till they're 27? It doesn't work.
But
now,
can you
like? We always heard weird before he was drafted. And you didn't know if it was like accurate or not. Like, he went to Boston, right? We always heard weird things like that. Maybe he was a strange attitude. I don't think it was, crazy. And I always chalked it up to people being jealous because he's such a talented, big player. I think he wants to win, but I don't think he understands how to win, Pierre. if that makes sense. Like I think there's a lot of, he needs to lead that team and they need him to lead them. And I don't know if he's that guy.
So this is a great point. And, I know a lot of people don't like my back arc, everything like that. And I understand that part and are okay. But having a opportunity because my body works with the Toronto Maple Leaf and have a chance to meet back arc, everything like that. And Steve was always remind me that part. He said, we're not going to win until those young kids, Marner, Matthews, learn to become a professional in hockey. And you have a way to become a professional is your work ethic, how you showing up the morning, the afternoon, learning the game, everything like that. And that's what is always resonate with me. Now, what they did this year, Carl Duba, look about what he did. He did not maybe pick the best UFA. He bring people learn to become a professional, but also they learn how to win. And they satisfy them around Matthews and Marner and those young guys to learn. That's what for me right now, because you bring this point, I like that. Eichel don't have nobody around him to teaching him what it takes to go to the next level and carry on everybody around him. And that's what maybe it's a bit, look about that team, Michael, and I'm not sure. He may be the top 5 older player of that team.
It's a good point, and I kind of hope that Eric Stahl would be that guy. But I think Eric Stahl, if you look at his career, he kind of struggled with that a little bit, right? Like he had to be moved out of Carolina. They tried everything. They brought his brother. He had early success, but he had to be moved to Minnesota, and Minnesota had a very deep leadership group, and he thrived. And even though he's an older guy, like I feel like maybe it wasn't fair to think Eric Stahl was going to be that guy because maybe we don't understand Eric Stahl's personality. I don't know. I don't know the answer. We're not inside there, and I don't know those guys personally. But I just think that it would help if they had someone that was like a meat and potatoes leader on that team, and a couple on, one on D and one on forward. Like maybe that's what they need to turn it around. But they need a goalie too. Like let's be honest, they need a goalie.
Yeah. Sometimes some people make mistake, and the biggest mistake for me, they will die is 2 things. The contract of Jeff Skinner. They're going to be suffer for years about that one over there, right? And and then it's not only one. You can go with Alexei Yashin, TP Throw, and we can go all the way like that. It's not only the one over there, but it's when you have a contract that's hurt a lot. That minimize your arms to trade to make something, to get more money, everything like that. So it's very hard. But I think you have a good point about that. And I think they should look about goaltender and to find a way to satisfy that position, honestly, to have a better year.
Make a big difference. Like they just need someone like that can, steal games. Like Bernie legitimately has stolen games for Detroit which is what they've never had. And not that I want to get rid of him, but he's an older guy. He would probably be better fit in a team like that, right? And they could probably get some young talent back. So you could see a move like that. You could see a Pekka Rinne, someone like that has some experience and is just kind of at the tail end. Anthony proposed a trade, which I got to be honest, Pierre, I do not think this is nearly enough. But
that's pretty much missing maybe the second pick for someone. But now, you know what I mean? Like this is a more
established player.
You have to be careful now. Yeah, you have to go deeper. So first, I don't think so. Florida would send those players for him. Second, Jack Eagle, you come with 80 point, 90 point, everything like that. But he come also with $10 million.
Cool.
Third, you have Kharkov as a center number 1.
Yeah, he's way better too.
Right? But it may be not better. But my point to you is now, how much you going to give to Barkov in the next 2 years? How much you going to give to Jonathan Huberdeau the next 2 years? So you have other factors make
for sure.
Before you trade someone to get someone, you have to look around about that part. Now,
What if
I
they?
mean, I will get it for you, Anthony. Do you want to have Jack Eichel? All right, I'll give you one trade right there.
Barkov.
Exactly, and put a first round pick over there, and go get him like a Denisenko. Then Buffalo would talk to you.
Yeah, Buffalo is not going to give up an Eichel unless they're getting a Barkov back or a Huberdeau.
The trade you offer them, Anthony, right now, they have no potentially established player right now in NHL can say, hey, because right now he's not assuming that Denisenko can become a player and Eponimi could become a player. But if you trade Huberdeau, a Markov, or Aaron Eggblend, then they will talk a little bit more with add good player around him. But that's how it works. And when you get a player like, Austin Matthews or whatever they want to trade like that.
I could see where they go Huberdeau and Spencer Knight and a pick, and that might be palatable, but you're still not getting a centerman. So I don't think that I see them doing stuff like that.
They don't need that. They have it. They have Huberdeau. They have Barkov. Now, then what they need is a little bit more depth in the defenseman, everything like that. But yesterday, Aaron Eggblend, I'll be honest with you, you have to add him in the conversation for the Norris Trophy, Michael.
I've been saying the same thing. Like, I think he's in that conversation. I don't know how you don't have it,
2 goals, 2 assists yesterday.
And when you watch him, I swear he looks smoother to me, which I always thought he was kind of a slower player. Yes, he was good positionally, but he looks like he's picked it up. I don't know if he's leaner. I don't know what it is. There's something different, but good for him. Maybe it's the coaching, maybe it's the team. I'm not sure. Overall, though, I think if you're going to get a Jack Eichel, it's going to take a lot. Let's touch on a couple of the other games. The Rangers destroyed the Devils. Lafreniere scores again. I think he got an assist in this game too. Chris Kreider continues to have a monster year. Jack Hughes did have a nice goal on the turnover for the Devils, but I mean, this is a pretty one-sided affair.
I don't know what's going on in New Jersey. Since the COVID-19, they dropped a lot of games.
Yeah, since Heishire came back.
Well, he doesn't play anymore, so like missed 3 games. But
is he out again?
What?
Is he out again?
Yeah, he got a puck in face last week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Good point. I mean, yeah. There's some dead weight on that team. Ty Smith is the future on D. Subban doesn't look great. They're up and down in the net. Generally, Mackenzie Blackwood's the guy. Flyers outlast the Penguins. Good game, I think, overall for the Flyers. We continue to see, this is Couturier's team, man.
Do you know what happened this game? Did you watch it?
I watched a bit of it. What happened in the middle?
It was 3-0 at the beginning of the first period for Pittsburgh. 3 goals in 71 seconds.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then they come back with 4 goals straight for Flyers to seal the game. That bring a subject this morning because I'm Twitter. I met a lot of more people. I'm active, everything like that. And someone saw my video, and it's a French guy. He replied to me. He said, "What about Mike Sullivan
as coach?"
And you know what? After the game, after that, like yesterday, like this game, I said no. But when you have Burke now and Rocket Stahl as the new management over there,
yeah,
it could happen.
Maybe
it could happen. And you know what? Who he's going to get? I told him already. He's going to get Gerard Glen. Crosby, Glen.
I'm trying to think maybe. I don't know. Is Gallant why do you think? Do you think there's a connection there?
Yeah.
What's the connection between them?
Well, Junior, Team Canada. Galen played a lot, was junior at that time, everything like that. So you have a lot of connection between Crosby.
Crosby was in the NHL when he coached junior.
What?
Wasn't he? Are you talking St. John?
Yeah. When he was in Rimouski, right? So they have a lot of connection, like junior major, Quebec, everything like that.
I think that's a stretch. I don't know. He was in St. John after, way after Crosby was gone, though, wasn't he?
You think he was there with 6?
No. Like, Gerard Gallant won the Memorial Cup in what, 2009 or 10?
I can give you that
because that was Huberdeau, that was Boyo, that was Yurko, that was the St. John. They won it in Mississauga. I was there. So let's take a look. He was coach of the year 2010 and 11, 2009 and 10. And he won the championship 06-07. So maybe.
He started in NHL at Columbus in 03-04.
Where's the coaching resume for him? It's weird. I see the oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, maybe. So he was in Columbus, and then he went to St. John Sea Dogs in 09-10. Because they were an expansion team. So he was like, Crosby was gone by then, right? Crosby would have
worked with Montreal at some point as an assistant coach.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, briefly. Yeah, 1 year. 2000. Oh, no, 2 years.
Yeah.
Was it 1 year? He was No, it was, 2012 to 2014. He was an assistant coach.
That's why after that he went to Florida.
And he went to Florida as a head coach. Yeah. And he was in St. John, though, before that, right? So he was. Yeah. That's when Huberdeau and those guys are on that team.
But again, I just opened the door. I don't say that it will happen, but the point is he bring me Mike Sullivan, where I believe Mike Sullivan is the top 5 coach in NHL.
I don't think Mike Sullivan's going anywhere.
I don't think so too. But at the end of the day, with new management, everything like that, and the team struggle. Well, they lost a bad game yesterday. They should win this game. It's a hard one over there. Again, the team you chase, everything like that. Crosby was upset after the game. They bring back, by the way, Crosby was back on the ice. We said yesterday morning he was out, but him and Ryan O'Hinson was back on the ice yesterday.
Johansson scored.
First goal of the year for Ryan O'Hinson.
Let's see. What were the Preds? They lost, right?
Yeah. The Montreal Canadiens yesterday, this is a game where is again, I can talk to you all night about Montreal. First of all, 2-0 Winnipeg, first period, all about Winnipeg. Montreal was sleep on the switch. Second period, Winnipeg won sleep on the switch. Montreal scored 2 goals, 2-2 after 2. Then the Winnipeg scored the first goal. Then, Michael, they played without whistle for 11 minutes and 36 seconds.
Wow.
They thought they were going to be home at 9 o'clock. Yes, last night. No whistle. And then they scored or tied the game at 1 minute at the end of the game. Corey Perry scored on the 2 tips. Before that, slap shot Perry, touched Drouin, then touched Perry, and he scored. And then Montreal lost again in OT. That gave them this year 0-6 and OT, Michael.
Wow.
So now, here's my problem with that part over there. 6 game and OT. If you win them, how many points I gave to you?
A lot. 6 points.
12.
Oh, why?
Because you play in the same division.
Mathematically, is that right?
Yeah. But my point to you, if I play Winnipeg and I'm losing 6 games, on OT, I'm getting only 6 points, and that gives 6 points more for Winnipeg.
Yeah, they're getting 12 points, you're getting 6, so it's net 6.
It makes sense. So my point to you is imagine them right now understanding, add them 8 more points, and you have to subtract other point to other team.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think Toffoli continues to pay dividends, so he's still having a great year. It's crazy. Drouin has 12 assists. I didn't realize that. So number 11. Corey Perry scored, and Drouin gets number 13.
Yep. Drouin have a great year. Drouin is going to be great. You know why?
Because he's on Montreal?
No, because he played many years with Dominique Ducharme.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. And he really trusts him, and they have a great relation. And really, one guy can take advantage of this is two guys, Kokanimi and him.
He's been there the whole time.
Yeah, but it's in the same way, right? So at the end of the day, I think that's great to see that. Now, I want to mention to you, it's funny because yesterday I said, yeah, Dubois play left wing. I think Paul Maurice listened to you because he bring him center, second line. He bring Paul Stastny first line. And Paul Stastny scored 2 goals yesterday.
Oh, chaos. What a terrible switch.
Yeah.
That screwed it up.
Yeah. But that OT, Michael, if you look about this, Montreal could score 3 goals before that. Burke was unbelievable in OT. He make a save against Paul Biron. He just diving on the right because he have no chance anymore and the puck hit him.
Is there a better goalie than Connor Hellebuck in the NHL?
This is another point. Is I took a note. Hold on. I put this note. I said for Michael tomorrow. Burke is the best goaltender in the North Division.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Who's better than him in the NHL?
Maybe not, but no.
Who's better?
Vasil, the guy from Tampa.
I don't know about that.
I think he's one step a little bit better. But
I think that's a pretty good debate there because the defense is much better in Tampa Bay. You don't have a Victor Hedman there.
I don't say he's not good. I just said he's the same conversation with the top best 3 and goaltender in the NHL for sure. But in the North Division right now, he you know what I mean? Like the last 2 games, honestly, Montreal have outshot Winnipeg both game and a better way to do that. And again, last night, I'm telling you now, Jonathan Drouin got a high stick in the face. He did not give a penalty. Every game I'm bringing you this, it's not big deal, but Drouin yesterday high stick. The game before he got destroyed from the back. Drouin, no penalty. The game before, Corey Perry, high stick on the face. They score again, Winnipeg. The game before, Gallagher got a goal in front of the net. So it's a bad luck for Montreal for the last 4 or 5 games. Again, I don't want to give an excuse. But
no. You know, what's really interesting about Vasilevsky is a great goalie, and he very well probably will win the Vezina, is my guess. Look at it. The shots are not different. You would think that Tampa would have a lot less shots. They had 516. Now he is facing the most rubber, I think, in the NHL, right? Hellebuck's the number 1 shots against next to this guy.
I don't know if you know, but Vasilevsky just beat a record of 225 minutes with no goal.
Wow.
For the last 4 games. So he just beat the franchise Tampa Bay record over there.
It's really like there's a lot of rubber. I'm actually very surprised how many shots that Vasilevsky's faced. Yep. But I mean, look at this. This is crazy. Is that 29 shots a game?
Yeah.
30.7. That's a lot.
Yep.
All right. So,
just by the way, you talk about this. Yeah, more shot in NHL this year, and also the save percentage, the goaltender is lower compared to any other team about that.
Interesting. All right. So we had
great comments on that one.
Yeah, we had a big game. Panthers, they managed to pull out a win. They were up, and then Predators started clawing back. Verhaeghe scores. Marchment, your boy Marchment scores.
3-0, 4-1, 5-4.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, like, one player we don't mention about that part of there. It's, and I'm not sure we can get his stat, but Matthias Ekholm, defenseman for Nashville, he scored again yesterday, his 4th of the year.
9 points in 16 games.
Okay, but look his last 5 games.
6 points his last 5 games and 4 goals. 4 goals, Pierre.
Yeah. So I know you have a good stretch when he came back from his injury.
I mean, this is a elite defenseman. It's crazy. Like, he's so good.
Because my point to you is because he's on the trade bait for the Nashville, honestly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's on the top 3 best defensemen, like with Savard from Columbus. But at the end of the day, they almost lose it. Sergei Bobrovsky have a good game yesterday, but it's all about, Glen yesterday. And also, it's funny because Huberdeau and Forsberg, when they play each other, they got 2-3 points per game. Again, Forsberg had 3 points yesterday. And, and again, I said, funny because I said to Greg Tuesday, Mason Marchand.
Yeah.
And you know what? Remember his name, Michael. The guy is a great hockey player.
He's a big guy, man. He just took a while. Like, he's Brian Marchand's kid, right? I just don't think he got a shot in Toronto.
I'm telling you right now, this kid, I know you're going to laugh at me, but I was said patient. Alex Talk from the Vegas.
That's not a bad comparison. I think that that's not a bad comparison. He's the same frame. He can skate. He goes to hard areas. He's not afraid of anything. He's only 25. He's proven he can score in the minors. I mean, this is like a 40-goal pace. This is a 40-goal pace. This is a 30-goal pace. Like, he's done everything he can in the AHL. And he was a good scorer.
This is his first goal in the NHL.
Yeah, he's only played 4 games before he came to the team. It's crazy. So I just don't think he ever had a chance.
Yeah, talking about Panthers yesterday, another milestone. I love the milestone. I follow all the milestone. Raku Kudus play his 500 game in the NHL, Michael.
Oh, that's it?
Kudus, yeah.
Only 500 games?
Yep.
Wow, I thought he would have played more by now.
And Mathieu Perreault for the Jets play his 650 game in NHL. He scored a goal yesterday against Montreal.
Well, who's this guy?
What? Brian Marchand, yep.
He was a pretty tough defenseman, man. he was
I know I'm completely changing the subject and we'll not go there, but I just want to mention to you the son of Mike Sellinger. He's destroying right now the USHL.
Mike Sullivan?
Mike Sellinger. Remember him playing NHL, Mike Sellinger? You don't remember him, Mike Sellinger? His son? Now I don't remember.
Cole Sillinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cole is a great player. He's going to go in the top 20 in the NHL draft.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's a great player. I've watched him a lot because he played Detroit? No. Was he was it Caesars? Did he play Little Caesars?
Yeah, but is a guy. He's not the one. He's play with Medicine Hat.
Oh, you're right. So this
he played Medicine Hat because they did not start. They sent him to USHL.
Wait, there's the 03 brother. Yeah, that's him.
Yep.
Yeah. But I thought for some reason he played CompuWare or something, but maybe I'm wrong.
So I'm sorry I changed the subject because you talk about that, his son, and I read about Sellinger yesterday. So
yeah, no, he's really good. His dad, Mike Sillinger, he was the most traded player maybe in the NHL.
He does one to have a really low gauge hockey bag.
Yeah, but he's a good player.
What's the next game before we move on? He's already 12.
Oh yeah. Well, we saw the Flames. They thumped the Senators.
Yeah, it was 4-1 after the first period. So this is surprised me. I feel bad for Chicago, but at the end of the day, don't feel bad. They got a 1 point. It was winning 2-0 until the third period. And Tampa Bay came back with 3 goals. And they won an OT, but they got 1 point, and that's helping everybody. And the Central Division for Chicago with Florida and Carolina. So it's again another great performance.
They're not going anywhere. They've never had any attendance.
I'll be honest with you, Anthony. I will give you the end of everything. I will give you this one. Until Viola is the owners of the Florida Panthers, that team do not go nowhere. Whatever happened, Viola will never send this team out of the Florida.
I don't think Ekblad is like either of these players. So Zdeno Chara was never a great skater. He's just a monster, but he's just a mean competitor. Lidstrom was one of the great underrated skaters, and his positioning is phenomenal. Like you never get a player that the perfect human being. I think somebody called him that, right?
I would not put Lindstrom on that conversation. When you talk about Lindstrom, you talk about a seven winners trophy Norris.
Right.
So you can only compare him about maybe Bobby Orr.
Right. I agree.
That's only two names you can tell me Paul Coffey, but Paul Coffey is still one step behind both of them.
He was not as good a defenseman,
No.
He's an amazing, like maybe the greatest or one of the greatest skaters ever and way ahead of his era, Paul Coffey. But we saw as he got older, the defensive, he could skate like this really well. He actually wasn't very good this way. And
I like the comparison with Shara, but I will say to you one thing.
That was mean as hell.
But that's why my point after that. I will have to wait more few years from Aaron Ekblad to see. I believe Ekblad have two more things to Shara does not have, and Ekblad don't have what Shara has. Ekblad is a better scorer, and I believe he's a better, smarter the offensive side compared to Shara. But on the other side, Shara is 10 times better to Aaron. Whatsoever, Aaron is a bit better this year.
But I mean, okay, let's think about how long Chara has played. He had some big offensive years there.
I think you're under Lindstrom now.
No.
I know. I just saw that name Lindstrom.
No. But look at he legitimately. This is Ottawa. There's Ottawa. Okay, then his career starts after already having a career, and he had some big offensive years, Pierre.
Oh yeah, you have a couple of seasons with 15, 16, some stuff like that, of course.
A lot, yeah, like a lot more than we remember.
But my point to you is this part, Mike. He's not a guy who would carry on the puck a lot. It was not a guy who was moving the puck a lot. It was Aaron Ekblad moved the puck better on that one over there. Now, Shara, the blue line, he can score from many direction of that part over there. Now we compare kids like 25 years old versus someone play 20 years yet. So my point to you was wait until what Aaron can do, but I don't think so. He's the similar kind of two players like that.
Very different. Yep. And the only other game we talked about briefly was the Leafs losing. Their winning streak ends. Big win for Vancouver, who needed it.
They play with Al Peterson.
Yeah, and Bo Horvat finally scored again.
Yeah, Bo Horvat score for Vancouver and Virtanen score for them. Good performance at Demko yesterday. I'll be honest with you, Demko very well, pretty good. Nobody scored from Toronto. Nylander, Marner, Matthews, Tavares, was Pierre, Engvall. They make a line, Hyman, Engvall, and Milhinik, whatever the Russian kid together. They look good together. I'll be honest with you. I don't know he chin after that. I go to bed after the second period. But, I said to you, Michael, the last 5-10 games, Vancouver play better. I don't say they're going to make the playoff, but I just said they look better.
Tough. It'll be very tough for them to make the playoffs. And they almost like the difference between Thatcher Demko and Holtby is very big right now.
Yes, I agree with you that part over there. I think that's a good point about that one over there.
Why does Pierre Engvall not score so much more? He is such a big guy with skills. I don't get it.
Because he played behind Tavares. Bring him. I'll be honest with you. Bring him in Detroit and Ottawa. You're going to have another different good players.
He's at least Alex Tuck.
Yep. Prototype a player like him.
Same guy. All right, Pierre. I know
what we have tonight before we go.
There's no hockey tonight, I heard.
No. 4 games. Friday is very low.
Yeah. We might as well just not even watch it. There's so
1,
little.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
So Capitals, Bruins, Lightning, Blackhawks rematch, Blues and Kings. I like that matchup.
It's just, and I'm in Colorado. It's not a new match over there. Minnesota now is Arizona. It was in Vegas, Vegas and San Jose. So those 3 games there, it's a new match. And St. Louis, Los Angeles played together 2 days ago, and Tampa Bay yesterday. Washington beat Boston Wednesday 2-1. So you have 3 game match it, and then 3 new match for the weekend. A lot of big hockey. I just want to mention to you, tomorrow Saturday is a hockey day in Canada with 4 match. Yeah.
Which Colorado Avalanche team will play tonight?
So again, that's another team. What maybe, but Michael, you're going to see them right now step up over. I just want to mention something. With and this is another one we talk about. Greg and together, and maybe Anthony is still there, but some team did not play still against other team, right? I will give you an example. Boston Bruins did not play yet. 0 game against Buffalo Sabres. That's a big change.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How many games they can win against Buffalo?
I don't know.
6, 7?
Maybe.
So that's a big, sometimes you have to be careful with the standing, by the way. So I don't want to push you away, but
it's definitely a unique year that way, right?
It's a fun year. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice. It's strange as weird as it's been. The playoffs last year were great with 24 teams, and this has actually been a nice change. Like I feel like they should shake up the bag every year and make a new situation.
Exactly. So thanks, Anthony. Be here. We love to have you every day here to ask you a good question, great question. Hopefully we answer you. And don't forget to subscribe to her YouTube channel and also Facebook page under Hockey Nation Live Show. And on the Twitter, Coach Frenchie 10X. You can follow Michael also everywhere. And we invite you to, don't forget, Saturday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday to Friday. Have an amazing, great weekend, everybody. Look forward to see you Monday morning. Same channel, same time.